Wait, what was that? And the firefighter came out with the new one?
I'm watching Jeremy's couple. We have two kinds. She, her, and he, him. One of them's got nuts. If you need me to tell you what...
Someone already made that joke. Mr. Beast did.
Oh, looks like years of being like a raving psychopath. It's finally got up to Jason and he's choking all by himself. What are you going to do here? Most people are going to go for the old trusty cell phone. But, unfortunately, that's not going to work. You see, you can't talk, so you can't call 911. 911 is only available in certain areas. So you're going to have to get this baby out yourself. What you need is a chair, a table, or a countertop that you're going to fall on.
Yep.
I know what you're saying to yourself right now, but Jason, isn't that going to hurt?
Yes.
Yeah, probably. But you know what's going to hurt worse?
Dying.
Now all you have to do to get rid of that pesky airway obstruction is pick your tool of choice, fall on top of it, hitting yourself just below the ribcage. You're outside, in the middle of your lawn, your neighbor's house, literally anywhere except for in your home by yourself, dying. Look, if you had a stool to the middle of your lawn and start falling on top of it, someone's going to call 911. But the most important thing you can do is remain as calm as possible. Because the calmer you are, the longer you can remain conscious to hopefully help yourself to live and eat another day. Good luck.
Let's be honest, you don't break those in half, you just eat both of them.
This is me subjecting my body to science, oh my god, by letting a bed bug eat me.
No, 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 no.
Oh, looks like years of being like a raving psychopath has finally caught up to Jason and he's choking all by himself. Wonder what he's going to do here. Most people are going to go for the old trusty cell phone. But, unfortunately, that's not going to work. You see, you can't talk, so you can't call 911. And text 911 is only available in certain areas. So you're going to have to get this baby out yourself.
Who did?
You need a chair, a table, or a countertop that you're going to fall on. I know what you're saying to yourself right now, but Jason...
The really thing is to hold the chair up to you and then fall down on it.
Dying. Now all you have to do to get rid of that pesky airway obstruction is pick your tool of choice, fall on top of it, hitting yourself just below the ribcage. Get outside, in the middle of your lawn, your neighbor's house, literally anywhere in your home by yourself.
Oh my god.
Look, if you had a stool to the middle of your lawn and start falling on top of it, someone's gonna call 911. Have you seen those videos where they use a laser to remove rust from metal? In these videos, a high-powered laser is used to vaporize rust right off the metal in the most satisfying way.
I thought he was going to talk
any
about
laser.
cleaning
These
lenses.
lasers are 2,000 watts, 10 times as powerful as the laser in my other video. I want to see if this laser lives up to the hype. Sure, they claim it can cut welded clean, but I'm more curious about what else can you do with it around the house. What about cutting down trees? Cleaning up cobwebs, or erasing the ink for money to create counterfeit bills. First, we should read all these warning labels or something. We should probably spend some time going over the guidelines of this machine. I mean, something this powerful needs to be
set that
respected. I mean,
bill
we have to
on
come up
fire,
with a
I
safety plan, not just
imagine.
for me, but for everybody in the area.
But why'd
We
you
need to
want
make sure that the machines
to
are proper
erase
working.
the 100 and counterfeit it? Why not
Master
do it
switch
to like
on,
one?
laser on, cleaning mode on, emergency stop. We don't need that kind of negativity around here. Safety glasses on,
Laser gun? On. Oh, hold on. I think you've got a...
Please work well. Okay, he's wearing glasses.
We have clash with their kimono.
I think you've got to put the safety clip on the gun. Oh! Oh no.
As I played back the footage later that day, I found myself with some questions. Have I gone mad with power? Perhaps. Am I responsible enough to own a tool this powerful? The answer is clearly no, so I want to try using it as intended before I accidentally vaporize my camera sensor or burn my house down.
The actual laser itself is in this big unit right here, and it travels all the way through this fiber optic line, which is the thickness of a human hair, up to the output of the laser here. You have to remember, lasers are just light, so this machine is using concentrated light to melt metal. So how much light is 2,000 watts? This is 2,000 watts of visible sunlight.
And this laser focuses it to a point smaller than a pixel on your screen.
So when I pull the trigger and turn on the laser, how
Maybe
come
would have
there's no
worked
beam?
better if it wasn't
It's
all
because it's
black.
invisible, idiot.
Oh, I'm not talking about you.
How come they're
Smaller than a pixel on your screen.
Yeah,
So when I
maybe
pull the
put
trigger
a
and
white
turn on the
pixel
laser,
in
how
there
come there's no
instead
beam?
of it being
It's
all
because
black.
it's invisible, idiot.
Oh, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about all of these people that are using this type of laser without any eye protection at
Yeah.
all. I mean, this guy's trying
fucking
kind of, but I
ridiculous.
think people aren't worried about it because they can't see it. Our eyes
It
can
doesn't
see light
matter.
from about 400 to 800
Just 'cause you
nanometers.
can't see it doesn't
now,
mean
this
it
laser
won't.
operates way over here at 1100 nanometers, far out of the visible
Way out of
range.
the visible
So
range,
remember,
but it can
always wear
still
your eye
burn
protection,
your eyes
because
out.
with this laser, you won't get a second chance. Is this laser the miracle tool of the future? Let's put it to the test.
That's so cool.
Can it weld? You bet your sweet little eyeballs it can weld. The
Okay,
laser welder's
this
easy to
is
use
no
and
longer
easy to learn.
enough for
Like, look at
me.
this piece of steel that I welded. Haters
I'm
will
not
say
shining it
laser
on the
welding isn't
camera.
as strong
Oh,
as
Shiva
normal
does
welding,
not
so
like
I
it.
smashed this piece of steel 50 times and it still wouldn't break. You're supposed to put the safety clip on the piece of metal that you're welding. So the laser will only turn on if you touch it to the piece of metal. That way you don't laser your friends. But the whole gun is metal, so you can just touch it to the workpiece anywhere and... oops. If you do want to laser your friend, all you have to do is put the safety clip on the laser. Speaking of toxic smoke, laser welders seem to produce a lot more fumes than normal welding. I don't really want to breathe in a cloud of vaporized metal, so I installed a fume hood to help deal with all of these fumes.
Good.
I'm not exaggerating when I say my first welds with a MIG welder were an actual cognito hazard. But with this laser welder, I was able to effortlessly weld together the
Cognito.
mascot for our podcast, The Dumpster Fire. Me, William Osmond, Alan Pan, and Niall Red host a podcast called Safety Third, where we do things like this. Have you been a good boy?
Oh, hello! Hi!
And explore abandoned mines.
Have you not looked down the hall, Kevin?
No, I had no idea that was back there.
You just almost fell down a 10-story building.
I'm not gonna step where there's not ground. And eat dog food burgers. Really?
No, it's all dog food.
Hey, want a dumpster fire of your own? Well, you're in luck because we're selling these t-shirts and some other merch on the store. Anyway, laser welder, totally worth it. But what about the laser cutter? Changing from welding to cutting is super easy. You just need to unscrew the welding tip and screw on the cutting tip. The cutting mode works, but I'm not that impressed with it overall. It can cut through up to 8mm steel, but only 3mm aluminum. And the cuts aren't very clean. It's better than an angle grinder, but a plasma cutter is
Why?
cheaper
Does it
and you
have
don't
to
have to
do with
worry
its-
about what's behind the piece of metal you're cutting. Overall, I would give the cutting attachment a pass. Sorry if I just kind of flew through the welding and the cutting modes, but honestly, the cleaning mode, this is where it's at. The only problem is you have to remove... I would
what
give
was
the
in
cutting
that
attachment
canister?
a pass.
Is that a
Sorry if I
propane
just kind of
canister
flew
you just
through
set
the
on
welding and
fire?
the cutting modes, but
Really?
honestly, the
Was that
cleaning
necessary?
mode, this is where it's at. The only problem is you have to remove the whole welding attachment from the laser. If just one speck of dust gets on one of these lenses, the whole thing can go up in smoke. And then it's like $1,000 for a new head. Anyway, it's just kind of a pain in the butt. There's 4 different sizes of screws and it takes like 5 minutes to change between the attachments. So here we go. This is the cleaning attachment, and the only difference between the welding and the cleaning attachment is the focal length of the lenses. So with the welding lens, you want to be up close, so you can weld metal. But the cleaning lens focuses the laser to a farther distance so you can clean stuff with it easier. This is from my last video when I shot the rocket at the fridge. It was looking a little rusty, after the giant explosion, so I figured I'd clean it up a bit. First, I tried the circle mode, which is definitely the best all-arounder. Next, I tried the figure 8 mode, which honestly, I didn't really like it. But then the line mode, this is concentrated heat, and it definitely works the best. I only had the power at about 30%, so if I want to remove the paint, I had to turn it up to 60%. This is way faster than using a wire wheel or paint remover.
That's
It's
so
great.
fucking
So that
cool.
definitely worked. It removed the paint right off of that metal, but you can see that this laser heated up the metal too. Like, you can see that it's got that bluish color, which means that the metal
that
actually
means
got
it heated
really
up.
hot. It's probably
Steel
like
then,
a couple
stainless
hundred
steel.
degrees right now. When cleaning metal, you actually don't want to go full blast.
You can also
Instead, you
tell
wanna
what
stay
the
like
metal's
at
made by
30%,
what
because if you
colors
use too
it
much
turns
power,
when it
it'll
heats
just
up.
melt the entire surface of the metal. So on camera, it probably just looks like this is
Don't-
shooting out a giant
Oh
cone
my
of light.
God, I
that's
thought he was gonna
vaporizing the
shine
metal.
it on his
What's
hand.
actually going on
Don't.
is inside of this laser head, there's mirrors that are spinning back and forth, and it's actually just drawing the beam side to side or in a circle. It's not making a solid circle or a line, it's just drawing it really fast. This laser cleaner is pretty epic. I can totally see every household having one of these in the future. I mean, it can do anything except for sponsor a YouTube video. Luckily, PayPal Honey is a free online shopping tool that can help you save money on your favorite website. Honey is the #1 shopping tool in America, and for good reason, because this right here is the money button. Click this button on some of your favorite websites and Honey will automatically search for promo codes and find you deals. It can find you deals on your favorite clothes, shoes, video games, meal
Oh,
delivery
no.
services, and boom, look at that. Honey just saved me $10 on a new fire extinguisher.
Mode is
Hey, you're already
fucking
shopping online.
arguing
you
with
can be saving
more
online too with
science
Honey. When
YouTubers.
there's a coupon, Honey finds discounts of 18% on average. So get Honey today. You can add it to your browser for free. Go to joinhoney.com/back.
Premier Protein powders are made for mixing things up. Premier Protein, sweeten the journey.
It's hard to believe that Mint Mobile can be good at just
not.
$15 a month. So, as Mint's new owner, I'm...
Hi, do you remember Derek of Veritasio made a video posing an electrical question? And everyone, including me, were fuming over it?
Now the question is, after I close this switch, how long would it take for the bulb to light up?
Well, now he made a new video on the subject. And I'm
Speed of
back,
light
maybe.
through the wires.
Derek, in his second video, acknowledged that his original question was too vague
next
and did a very
question.
good job clarifying a lot of details. Otherwise, in my opinion, almost all his answers could be correct.
Like, people
But,
don't realize
well,
that the speed
here
of
I
light
am,
changes
which means I'm not
based
happy
on the
with all the
medium that it
details.
goes
I
through.
feel
That's
like
what a
we are
sonic
not
boom
exactly
is.
on
It's
the
when
same page.
something
Mind you,
travels
Derek and I are
faster than
friends.
sound can
Hopefully
travel.
he thinks the same.
You can also
and
have
he's one
a
of the greatest
photonic
YouTube
boom.
science communicators,
When
and
something
his
travels
presence is
faster
very
than light
valuable.
in a
Especially
certain
since
medium.
his idea of science is not melting lipsticks.
Rewind needs more
Not in
science.
space,
Can
but
we
in
do
a,
an
like
experiment?
through air
Love
or
that.
water.
Melting lipsticks.
Melting lipsticks? Melting lipsticks? We want more science. Melting lipsticks? This back and forth is not about who wins. It is about all of us understanding science better. And what better way to understand things than my sponsor Brilliant's interactive courses and quizzes? You can learn a ton of what you need for free signing up using my
How old
link
is this?
brilliant.org/electroboom, and the first 200 people can also get
8
20%
months ago.
off
Okay,
Brilliant's
we'll skip
a
that.
science communicator, filmmaker, television personality, and inventor. And of course, he's a YouTuber at Veritasium channel with over 12 million subscribers. Don't you wish you had a friend like him? Now you can with a low monthly payment of $39.95. Just kidding, sir. So thank you for taking the call. I like to focus on 2 points that I feel I don't agree with.
Misconception number one is thinking that electrons carry the energy from the battery to the bulb.
They are the
Misconception two,
energy.
thinking that mobile electrons
talking
push
about?
each other through the circuit.
I think those are both good
Who
statements.
thought that? They're drawn.
The point about electrons not pushing each other through the wire is specifically that the mobile electrons, so like the current carrying electrons are not pushing into each other like, you know, marbles in a tube or like water in a hose.
So regarding the first point, the electrons pushing each other, I think we need to define pushing first.
Yeah.
See, at this point, I'm thinking Derek might be thinking that pushing is only between the surface of the material and not between energy fields.
Yeah,
Basically, an
exactly,
object
exactly.
pushes another object by exerting force to the other one.
But
in atomic level,
when
the
it's
two
the energy
objects don't
fields, that
actually
means they're
touch,
being
as
drawn.
in matter doesn't touch matter, because the
how I
electromagnetic
see it.
interactions between their atoms keep them apart. So we can define pushing as an object exerting force to another due to the repulsion of the electromagnetic forces between their surface atoms. And I guess the gravitational interaction of matters in larger scales.
Yeah, if you have two objects and you bring them close together, yeah, charges in and around the surfaces can apply forces on the other object.
Oh,
which is?
he knows. Of course he does.
And I think, of course, it's important that there's sort of like a net force, right? Every electron in a wire will exert a force on every other electron in a wire. But the argument I'm making is that there are equal and opposite forces on every electron, such that the mobile electrons are not actually pushing each other around. The main thing I like to think about the battery doing is maintaining this distribution of surface charges.
As in his video, here Derek explains that there is a gradient of seemingly static charges only on the surface of the conductor, and the density of charges inside the bulk of the wire is uniform, with number of electrons and protons being equal. So the charges inside the wire don't push each other to move, because the conductor is electrically neutral there, and the net force on charges from neighboring charges is zero.
Derek claims it is the surface charge gradient that creates fields inside the wire, pushing charges forward.
Why do you think that the charge distribution is? What is the reason for that?
I think that charge distribution is set up by the fact that there's a battery there. And so the battery has an electric field which influences the charges right beside the battery. And their electric field influences the charges right beside them. And their electric field influences the charges right beside them, and so on. And that's what sets up the surface charge distribution.
The way I always imagined how this all worked was that the battery just pushes an electron in the wire by its electric fields, and like a train, the electrons push each other forward, sending the current through. It has always worked for me and explains everything. But at the same time, I don't have a good reason to reject Derek's notion of surface charges. Why does it even matter either way? The charges are pushing each other forward.
So again, back to the definition of pushing I was talking about, that it's in the atomic level, it's the electric fields and magnetic fields between the atoms that keep them apart. It seems to me that the electrons reacting with each other is causing them to move in the wire, right? And to me, it's pushing.
When it comes to adventuring through dreamland,
So the argument that's made, which is not my argument, but the argument that I relay to you, is this idea that, like, okay, we have an electron moving along here, another electron moving along here, and of course,
Right.
like, the actual motion is like this, but
Right.
they're ever so slowly drifting this way if you net it out. And then there's kind of a question of like, okay, so why are they net drifting this way? Is it because this one's pushing this one?
Derek again explains that because of equal density of electrons and protons inside the wire, the charges are not pushing each other forward, which I still don't quite agree with. I think the sea of electrons is a bit compressed as it is pushing
I need to
forward through
charge
the
my
resistance
laser.
of the wire.
And I think that's a fundamental disagreement. Can I read you something? This is from a physics textbook.
Yeah.
And there's a heading which says
Can't do it with my
electrons
eyes
cannot
closed.
push each other through the wire. As we've stated previously, there can be no excess charge inside a conductor. And we'll see later that this also applies to the steady state as well to equilibrium, as well as to equilibrium. So the number density of mobile electrons inside a metal wire must be equal to the number density of positive atomic cores. The inside of the wire is electrically neutral. Rather, it must be other charges somewhere outside the wire that make an electric field throughout the wire that continually drives the electron current. And so this is my explanation for the maintenance of this current, is that there is a gradient of charge on the surface creating an electric field inside the wire that causes the electrons to go one direction more than the other.
So do you think if we have more, like a larger electric field through the wire, we will have more current?
Yes.
See, the thing is, if there is a charge gradient across the wire, it is because the wire is resistive and this creates a voltage across the wire we typically want to avoid because it would waste energy. If the wire is more conductive, there is a smaller electric gradient and voltage across it,
That's
what
why we
results in
use
more
gold
current
and
through
shit
the
in
load.
electronics. That's
Less
why we put
electric
gold
gradient
wires
across
in
the wire
electronics.
means more current, which is opposite to Derek's notion that the gradient creates current.
Oh, that's interesting. That's very interesting. That's
See?
very Yes, yeah, I hear you. You say it's bad for current. I say it's the thing driving the current.
Yeah, but how come when we remove it, we have more current?
But it's not an apples to apples comparison.
Derek explains we can have a certain resistive wire and place a voltage across it. Increasing the voltage, we increase the electric field gradient across the wire and therefore the current through the wire, which is opposite of what I'm saying.
Yeah, so I'm saying higher gradient, more current. You're saying higher gradient, less current, right? But it just depends on how you set up the problem.
Well, let's do it.
He's right.
Get some
He's
wires
messing with my
and
brain
do
with
it.
truth and facts. But either way, no matter the mechanism of how charges flow in the wire, the charges are still pushing each other forward.
Electric and magnetic fields around the wires are created by electrons, surface charges, or whatever you want to call them, in the wire, right? So why do we say they are not pushing against each other? Because it's them directly affecting each other.
I would agree that electrons push electrons but I don't think that mobile electrons push mobile electrons. So I guess what I'm saying is the electrons which are forming the current are not pushing on each other. Yeah, I can send you this chapter of this book, which is basically exactly what I said in the video. So, is the energy carried by the electrons or by the fields? And obviously, the energy is delivered
but I do
by
think
the
he gets a lot of things
We all
wrong.
agree that the electron bumps into an ion in the load, transfers the energy like that.
It's a little bit confusing. Like I always had this traditional view of how electrons move through the wire.
Maybe it's a good sign that there are different mental models, right? Different ways of seeing the world. And I think the model that we all learn about voltage and current is very useful and very intuitive and works 99.9% of the time. So it's like, why even think about this, you know?
Well, the thing for me is that it works 100% of the time. I've never seen a case that it doesn't work. That's the problem.
6 pills a day.
I mean, what if you try to answer the question, like a kid asks you, like, okay, these electrons are coming here, and there's a resistor down here, and there's a resistor over here, and this one is twice as big as that one. Right. So half as many electrons go down this path as that path. But how do the electrons know to go half as many this way and twice as many that way?
Well, in my view, when you first close the switch, a wave of current is pushed through the wire and splits equally in both branches, although there are different resistances in each. But when the wave hits resistors, some of it reflects from them. There is a greater reflection from the higher resistance, as the current can't get through as easily, which adds up to the initial wave, resulting in less current through the higher resistance. So initially, the charges don't know which branch to go more into. But because of this constant feedback from the loads, after this transient state passes
the air gets
and
ionized
settle,
and the
less
electricity
current can
goes
go
through
through
the path
higher
of least resistance. And since the ionization, they've just found out that the ionization is 2 oxygen molecules.
Is it the electrons in the wire, in the bulk of the wire, which are creating this
formed
electric
together
field, or is it
horizontally between the 2 atoms? If my fingers were atoms,
I don't know. Is that a worthwhile distinction to make?
And they can shift in any way, and the lightning follows them because it's the path of least resistance.
Way of thinking.
That's why lightning doesn't go straight to the earth. That's why it forks off.
Doesn't seem to have any effect on the outcome of what you're trying to do in the actual circuit.
Right. I mean, I think that's the power of it as a model. It's such an effective way of thinking. Why would you ever change your mind?
Thanks for the call. Bye. I thought it was an open and shut case, me being so smart and all-knowing. But damn, he makes some good arguments. So, the charges don't push each other through the wire?
My phone. I need to make sure my screen doesn't go off.
St. Jude.
The Rainbow Family? Holy shit, no way.
They really changed me and my family's life.
No fucking way, dude. The Rainbow Family's where I got my LSD.
Have you seen
They made white on white fluff, and that shit was 99% pure. It was the best LSD. Oh my god. They're coming back.
Wonder what he's gonna do here. Most people are gonna go.
Fuck yeah, boy.
Ask 10 people what rainbow gatherings are and you'll get 10 different answers.
It's like a big collective of anarchists. It's not tied down by society standards.
Some people just want to get up. Rainbow is a prayer for peace.
I'm personally a nudist.
Oh, this is native. You hear the drums, see the teepees?
My parents would tell me about Woodstock and stuff, and now I'm experiencing it in my own way.
It's a barter-only society. It's a small prototype of what culture could be. That's what
you think I was joking?
Yeah, dude, those people are...
The Rainbow Gathering doesn't have the best reputation.
These people are making LSD. You might not want to, they'll probably kill you if you try to film them doing that. They were no joke, dude. They didn't fuck around. They were secretive as hell.
They're living in a bubble. I don't get it. I'm not feeling it. My finger got dipped in. I'm getting out.
Too late. She's talking about what I think she's talking about. They make people dip their hand in crystalline acid to join, which means you're probably doing about 100,000 micrograms would be my guess. 100,000 to 1 million, depending. Some people lick their thumb before it.
Gathering. This is a yearly event where thousands
Or
of
after.
hippies descend upon a national forest, setting up camps, organizing food kitchens.
So you're in for like a 3 or 4 day long hardcore trip if you do that.
But in recent years, they've been getting a lot of negative press because there's been instances of violence and assault and even murders. This year marks the 50th anniversary
No
of the
rapes
Rainbow
yet?
Gathering. So we are in a very remote part of Colorado.
Yeah,
a
dude, they
very
don't
janky
fuck
RV, which is
around,
what
of
it's all about.
course.
That's the map.
They
that
are,
we're trying to
no
follow
matter
right
how
now.
much they want to
You're gonna be
portray about
shocked.
being such
Roll
hippies and shit,
Main Meadow
they
is where
are
most events will take place, including
an
a communal
illegal
meditation
drug
and prayer for world
manufacturing
peace on July
organization.
4th. But
They
you
will
have to
kill
hike
you
a few miles in
if
just
you
to
fuck
reach
with
it.
them.
Welcome home. Welcome home. Welcome home, fam.
Have you been to gatherings before?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is my 15th.
No offense to LSD, I love LSD, but if you, I've done it every day for months and months before 3 months in a row at least. But
tree lines. The first
you
Rainbow
isolate
Family
yourself
Gathering
from
happened
society,
in
do a bunch of
Strawberry Lake,
LSD, your
Colorado
mind's
in
gonna get all fucked
1972.
up.
Partly a reaction to the Vietnam War, the intention was to establish a permanent anti-consumerism community built on peace and love. But that OG gathering only lasted a month, so now the family comes home to different national parks every year.
It used
And
to
because it's
be,
the 50th anniversary, they're expecting thousands to show up.
Park
never get there. It's
Zoe,
3 miles up, and it's
Zoe
uphill
Camp,
going.
which
And then there's more
was
after that?
Oh, yeah. It's
down by
okay.
Salem, Missouri, but the fucking cops stole the land. At least they made it into a national park.
Communal kitchen. So this is like
At least
the
they did
heartbeat
that.
of Rainbow Gatherings. So people come for food.
It was already in
tea.
between
This is
2
amazing.
national
This is your
parks.
first rainbow?
Yeah.
Mine too.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, cheers to the first. Do you see this event as somehow changing society in a way, or like
Oh, yeah,
No.
yeah, yeah. It's a small prototype of what culture could be.
It's not
We've been
changing
hiking for,
anything.
like,
You've been
3
around
miles,
forever. and
mostly dense forest. And we're here. This is I think this is Main Meadow.
I wish I knew where to get their acid. That's the only acid I would ever actually do anymore. If I knew where it was being made
Hi,
from. Because
I'm
so much
Erica.
LSD is
Hi,
research
Circus. Nice to
chemicals
meet you,
now. It's
sir.
not real
Yeah, so
LSD,
today
and
is
that's
the second day of the
dangerous.
gathering.
People
The
die
prayer
because
for
of
world
that.
peace
It's fucking
happens in 2 days
stupid.
at noon on the 4th, right?
That's
Well,
why I'm
let me show you
excited
this
for
map over
Missouri
here.
to be legalizing
So you've already
psilocybin. That way
walked
I
from
can grow
there
it again
to
and
here. So it's kind of
give
a
it to
rainbow
people who
shape.
need it.
The trail,
Yeah,
for
that's
therapy
right?
and shit.
Some really great places you're going to want to check out. So this is the stage, Granola Funk. You got Kid Village here. There's no official like placement for this kitchen goes here, this kitchen goes there. But the larger kitchens that come back year after year, they tend to be kind of like anchor points.
But I didn't bring any money, so how would I?
Sweat equity is what you would contribute.
Sweat equity.
We
is
need
that
some
like,
firewood.
Okay, building
We need
stuff.
some firewood. We need some veggies chopped for dinner. We need a shitter to be dug, a trench. So these are the kind of things that people can do to contribute. You don't have to have money to be part of society like this or part of a little community like this. There's space here for everyone.
So are we walking mostly through like campgrounds?
So this is Main Trail.
Main trail. Okay.
Hey, cart coming through, cart coming through, cart coming through. Make a hole. Oh, there's a trade circle up ahead. The idea is that it's a barter-only society. Like nothing's being sold for $5 or $20.
Right. This
right?
is truly just a bartering thing.
Yeah.
I was quite impressed with how functional this place was. The people here were able to cook their own food, walk, dig their own toilets. Doesn't even smell that bad. It smells fine. And install running water. There was a stage for entertainment, a spa. Oh, probably. A medical staff.
Medical coming through.
And even a camp where people can bring their kids.
I feel much safer at Rainbow than like walking through Portland.
Because there's no formal rainbow leadership, I figured this would just be a bunch of hippies camping for the weekend. But
No,
it
man,
actually
they turn
felt
it
more
into
like a
cohesive
temporary city in the
societies.
middle of the
Swagstock
woods.
was one of
Literally
them,
have
and it
bread
was
pudding at 9
their
in
own.
the
The
middle of
security was
forest with
only there to
palm
make
trees
sure people
frosting,
weren't like
walnuts,
selling
like
drugs
super
like
nice
in the
and
main street. I mean, you can't stop it everywhere in the
gatherings draw
cans.
people from all over the
Flag
world
was
and
a
from all walks of
huge
life.
can.
And I was
You
picturing the
couldn't
people who
stop
were
it
going to
everywhere. It'd be
Rainbow Family
impossible.
Gathering.
It'd
You
be
were
like
not someone I
stopping
pictured.
it in the real world on the streets and
Once you
shit.
can't
You can't.
picture, that's exactly the one to picture.
But they
It's been
were,
50 years since
I
the
mean,
first
dude, they did
gathering,
what they
and
were.
while some folks come out just to unplug and connect with like-minded people, others are true believers in the anti-establishment mission and perceived impact the Rainbow Gathering is having on the world. So I've been asking people this question, which is like, how long have you been coming to Rainbow? But for you, it's kind of a trick question because you were conceived at Rainbow?
No, I wasn't conceived at Rainbow, but I was a fetus at Rainbow.
You were a fetus at
My mom and dad both went to the Pennsylvania gathering in '86 before they met, and by the next year they were together and pregnant with me. But I've been consistently coming to Rainbow gatherings as an adult and plugging in since 2010 for the last 12 years. The whole point of the gathering in the USA on the 4th of July and in other countries on the full moon is to have our meditation for peace and then to come together in a circle, touch hands, say a sacred sound, and then celebrate peace. A lot of people come in and they don't necessarily want to be in unity and pray for peace and do that. That's not their thing, but there's still something that they come to Rainbow that are passionate about, whether it's someone who just is like a line chef and really loves cooking food and is happy never to go out and see the woods.
Here you go. You got some vegetable prep happening.
Hi, guys.
Hey, can I grab a baby carrot?
Please. Baby bird it to you. Right now we're at Fat Kids Kitchen, which is one of the many communal kitchens here at Rainbow. It's about 6 o'clock. There's a free dinner down in Main Meadow. They need some volunteers to take food down, so gonna help out. Is this one of the pots that you'll be cooking with down at Main Meadow?
No, it's already done. All the food is done.
Oh, so the food's in here right now?
Yes.
Okay, so what's for dinner?
Organic lentil soup with coconut cream.
Sounds delicious,
It's amazing.
delicious. Did you make it?
I did.
Do you have like a favorite meal that you make at Rainbow?
This is my first time at Rainbow, and I'm surprised they trusted me with the right energy, brother.
Oh, that's amazing. It's my first time too. That's cool. How's your experience been so far?
Amazing. So it's like you're coming home, and it's like everybody just accepts you.
1, 2, 3. Oh, whoop. Woohoo! I like being in the back because I get to smell the delicious curry the entire time. Ooh.
I wonder when they're going to talk about that. Maybe they're not going to talk about that, so maybe I shouldn't have mentioned it.
9,000 feet? Is that the elevation?
I got 0 viewers. This gives a shit. Ain't like anyone's going to fucking care anyways. I know what I'll trade. I'll go down there and make DMT in front of everyone and be like, here's how you do it. I'll trade my knowledge. I'm not even going to trade it. I'll just give it to them. Well, no, I'll trade it for LSD.
Almost there. Almost there. You know, you could have picked a
I'd rather
kitchen
trade
that
it
was
for
like
the
a little
knowledge
bit
of how to
closer
make it,
Maine,
although I
but
can
I'll-
find that out. I just think the chemicals is probably super hard to get.
Oh my god, 1, 2, 3.
Dude, how heavy did you say that was?
100 pounds at least.
100 pounds at least. Do you guys need any help serving?
Yes, we're gonna need help serving.
Okay.
We're gonna have 2 people per.
Excuse me, you know what? You guys cannot be doing this in the center of our circle. You do not have consent about it.
Oh, nobody who we don't have consent from we can feature. These cameras are just on him and I.
With all the people around.
Oh, you
You
can't.
are in the center of our circle.
100%. Yeah.
We're very
But it's-
uncomfortable. You can take it out.
She's
of the
like, yeah,
circle,
I
that would
know.
be great.
You can show her the
No.
As long as
Please,
yeah,
take
they
your
want
cameras
that.
out of our
That's
circle.
what we are.
You think I was joking?
No, we're just finishing talking to David.
I
on
don't
this
care.
thing.
Go out of the circle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We just got kicked out of Dinner Circle, which is happening behind us. Kind of disappointed, to be honest. I mean,
What a con.
as soon as we walked in, it was kind of like immediate animosity towards us, and there wasn't even an approach of like,
I mean, like
hey,
I
can we
said,
just
they're
ask
doing
over here
illegal
what you're filming?
things
It was
there, like
"Can I get the
hardcore
fuck
illegal
out?"
things.
And
That's
because
probably
there's
why
no
some
real
people are acting like
leadership
that.
and person you can go to say, hey, I spoke to them. They said it was totally cool. If one person says no in a big group like that, you're out. So, you know, I get it, but a little disappointing. Near the entrance of the gathering is A Camp, or Alcohol Camp. It's where some of the rougher stuff at Rainbow goes down, usually involving drugs, alcohol, cops, and people dealing with mental health issues. This camp almost acts as a filter, keeping some people away from the main Rainbow gathering.
Where's spoons at? Spoons? I don't know where he's at. I believe he left the festival.
So we're at A Camp right
Go
now,
by
which is kind of like right at the
Spoons.
front gate of where Rainbow Family really starts. There's about 10 cop cars behind me. They just got out of their vehicles. We were trying to leave Rainbow Family and ran into them. I tried to talk to the cops to find out what was going on. They wouldn't tell me, but what I did over here was that they were looking for spoons.
Okay, well, you guys got this. Thank you.
I feel like this
And
part
sadly,
of
there's
Rainbow
nothing
Family
you can
Gathering,
do.
Camp in particular, is
When
very
you
hostile towards law
get-
enforcement. It was
It's not
just
a hospital. These people,
yeah.
although they might look like the darkest, they are the ones who are keeping the darkness from heading up the fucking road. I found love on both sides. Up here, down here, it's all the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't really have family.
Except with a lot more
And
illicit,
these
hardcore drugs.
These people give me everything I needed. Everything.
It's because you're a girl. You can't.
Expect to have
You-
more instances of cops showing up and arresting
Sadly,
people.
you cannot
Police are
have
very
an open,
here to
free
antagonize
gathering
us rather than
without
protect
hard
us.
We
drugs
did this thing called Six Up, where we
creeping
scream
in.
Six
You
Up
just
if there's
can't.
cops.
Especially if you're going to involve
If you walk
hallucinogens.
through
It's the way it is.
intending to give out as many tickets
And
as they
I've
can,
said this
so
a
they can
million times
justify their
before, and I'll
federal
say it
budget
again and again
A
and
few
again
days
and
before
again and
going to the
again.
gathering,
Heroin
I
and
talked
hard
with Sheriff
drugs
Wiggins
ruined
of
the
Broward
hippie
County, whose
movement.
department is handling this
The
year's
only
event.
hippies that survived through the 60s and into the 70s all died of heroin
issues so
overdoses.
far with people coming in for the Rainbow Gathering?
There have been citations issued. There have been several people that have been arrested and taken to jail. I would say that we do get intel about certain people that follow the Rainbow Group that has warrants. Some of these individuals are sexual predators or known for violence.
That
They don't like.
It is a sad reality
law
of these
enforcement.
festivals
It's
too,
very
right?
difficult when you're dealing with a crowd of 10,000 and we have 30 or
Look at
maybe
Woodstock.
40
There's
law enforcement officers go in
uncounted
and deal with a
reported
situation
rapes.
like that.
Does the fact that kids are there, does that make you feel any different about the activities that go down at Rainbow?
It's not a kind of event I would take my kids to.
It's
Just based
okay
on
to take your kids to places like
Rainbow
Schwagstock and stuff if you keep them
doesn't
away
have
from
the best
those people.
I think that if people Google Rainbow, it's kind of a mixed bag, right? Do you acknowledge that there's things like assaults or drug use that is?
Yeah, I wouldn't take my kid there because I wouldn't want to watch my kid because I would go down there to party and
Absolutely.
trip.
But first of all, like the way that people come with that question primarily, it's sort of the same way as if I was interviewing the mayor.
I'm
of a
not
small
saying you can't
town
watch your
and
kid
being
when you're
like,
tripping,
isn't
but
it
you
true that
can't.
there are people in jail in your town for drugs? Like,
Be,
of course it is, but like
if you're not
that's every
experienced
community, every
tripper, you
place in the
definitely
world.
shouldn't.
But a lot of people use semantics that I really don't like. They talk about
And
we have
even an
bad
experienced
apples, and we
tripper
take care
can
of our
get
bad
just that
apples.
one
And,
fucking dose that'll rock your world. So
that
it's not something
everyone
I would
comes to the
recommend. I would
gathering
never
broken
do
and
it.
trying to heal. People come here that have emotional issues or mental health issues and they just get rejected everywhere else, and they come here and they find people that are willing to be patient with them and find a way that they can be productive and loved and not push people away.
And
You
that's
could feel
why, because
real
I've
love
learned to
coming from
respect
Finch for this Rainbow
hallucinogens.
family, and the sentiment that all were welcomed here was one that was shared across the gathering.
Loving you.
Loving you. Loving you. You got a belly button? You got a belly button?
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess what? You're welcome here.
The invitations to everywhere. So to the banker, to the
Is that guy checking if people are robots for real? You don't think they would make a robot with a belly button if they weren't trying to fool people?
Not have clothes on, whether they want to be loud or quiet or play an instrument or whatever. I'm personally a nudist.
Oh, they're living in a bubble, in a cultural bubble. And watch out for cultural, like how many people are of different ethnicities here. You'll see it's kind of a monolithic.
We were wondering about that.
Yeah, so was
It looks
I.
pretty white.
Very true. I think you could count the people that aren't on a couple fingers, maybe 10.
At an event that was supposedly for everybody, why was the population so white? I wanted to talk to Aretha and Sumi, a mother and daughter who were at the gathering for the first time, to hear about how their experience has been so far.
The experience has not been at all what I expected. I expected to be a lot more welcoming, a lot more of the classic hippie peace and love and togetherness, and it hasn't been that experience at all. Within the first half hour of being here, I got yelled at 3 times, and then within the first hour, my mom had to have a conversation with a gentleman about why the Confederate flag is racist.
I felt like people were more like, who's this and why are they here? We definitely didn't look
No
like anybody else.
way.
Have you
seen a lot of black and brown folks at Rainbow?
No. They kind of present themselves as like a oneness and people of oneness. You would think it would be a melting pot, and it was more like lentil in the melting pot. Kind of shocking, actually.
This is a group of people who's talking about peace and love, but they're also talking about this ideal society in the future. Did they lose some of that relevance or impact if you're not inclusive?
My experience is if you've been doing this for 50 years and you have not integrated, you have failed. I'm hoping maybe I'm going to see the prayer circle tomorrow and go, oh my God, I get it. But I don't right now. I don't get it. I'm not feeling it.
Well, you had to have a conversation with a guy why the Confederate flag is racist.
Today's the 4th of July.
Like,
prayer for peace starts at dawn with a moment of silence. After the silence,
I don't blame you. That would piss me off too. In fact, it does piss me off when I have to have that conversation. The stars and bars are for slavery. That's it. That's what the South stood for. I don't care if Missouri was a southern state or not. That's like, you know, we had history where we committed a Native American genocide too, but that's when Europeans colonized America. So should we start flying blankets with little disease markings on them? No.
Yeah. Look at this. This is native. This isn't Western civilization. This is native. You hear the drums, see the teepees?
It's not Western civilization. All I see is white people. What are you talking about?
You will see this. It is love. That's what it's all about. Hippies, flower children, dead and die. We just go to the rainbow every year and still get high. Ah.
Don't say that.
I'm meditative with some Midsommar vibes thrown in.
Yeah, that dude's tripping
people
balls.
come to the gathering. Later that night, I sat down with some of the younger Rainbow generation to talk about their experience and what they hope to see from the group in the future.
Where are they getting all this shit? All their fucking glowing hoops. Where are they getting all that shit? They getting it from fucking Amazon because they all got cell phones. They can all kiss my ass, dude.
It still changes people on a personal level. It like totally transformed my life. I was like, oh wow, people can interact like this. Like we can exchange things without money, just like out of love, and then like
you can
have
do that
everything
not
we
at a
need. Just
festival.
still like at its base level, the fact that this is like a co-creative space.
My friends
where
and I
people
used
are
to do
like
it all the
working
time.
day in day out, like cooking food to give to whoever walks up and be like, love you, here you go. Like that's beautiful, you know.
And that's what this is, really. It's like a big collective of anarchists coming together who don't
Not
want
like
a leader
shitting
and
on these
figuring out how we're going to
festivals
live
because I
together.
think they're an important
Fuck,
thing.
we're
I
doing
mean,
it. Like, we're kicking ass. I
music
think.
festivals are great, but
The word hippie. Do you identify as a hippie? Is that a weird word?
when
I see it as
are they
weird,
going to
that's
get
just
into
me.
the
Because I'm like,
LSD
these
that the
guys,
Rainbow
like,
family is
They
making?
created something from like a war that was happening, and it was a counterculture.
That's
and
what
all
I
of
want to
this,
know.
you
I want to
and
know
they did
where
that,
to
you know,
go
and
get the
then-
good
now
LSD.
who are we? You know,
Right.
what are we gonna do?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we're super inspired by them, but like, they did great, but we need to do better.
Right, we can't just be like dressing up like them and be like us. too,
Honestly,
you know?
it's probably the
about
people
change. Yeah,
that-
that's such a good point, Tree. You know, so many people are so unhappy with what goes on in the world, like, and it's like at the basic human level, you'd think we could like just be together and be like,
Okay.
okay, let's like stop.
There's
I
no
think that
one
that
on
is
camera
what
that's
Rainbow's
going to be
originally
involved
kind
in
of about.
that, and I doubt anyone's going to talk about it because they don't want to get Oh yeah, I forgot. I hope my thing doesn't get claimed.
How many people have rolled through your dance party tonight?
Honestly, I was tripping so hard earlier that I was kind of just paying attention to me and my girl.
I miss Blue Hair Goddess.
Woo! Blue Hair Goddess. I love her to death.
Rainbow Gathering, dance party.
2020.
Oh,
2020.
2020.
What's up?
Yeah.
right back.
As my journey at Rainbow was coming to an end, I wondered, what was the point of all of this? Karen, this is your 50th Rainbow Gathering?
Oh, no. I went to the first one. I've never been back.
What are you really affecting other than you guys are coming out here for like a week barbecue and you're all gonna eat and like feed and I'm not getting it yet. I don't see how this is going to make any difference in places where people actually live.
I don't know if this matters, you know? I hope it does. But we all go back to whatever state we're from, and then the Supreme Court does some more, you know?
If you had to maybe give some like advice to people who come to something like this thinking that this is the thing that's going to change the world, what maybe advice would you give them?
Go vote. Go vote. Get political. For me, this is all about prophecy.
This pure spirit of sharing and being natural and being wild is going to seep into the world, and people are going to start being kinder and more generous and suspicious of many governments.
Even for the folks that are not peaceful in this world, they might end up coming to this one day and realize that peace is the way.
If they applied that
Shall the
much
city of Belton,
care and
Missouri
togetherness
impose a
and
local
things they were using
city
for rallies back in the
use
day
tax
into,
at the
like,
same rate
societal things
as
and fights that are
the
happening
total
now,
local sales
they would be
tax
a force to
rate,
be
which
reckoned with.
is
But instead, from what I see, they're up here in the woods bickering with
0.2.
each other about water lines.
Yeah, so we're leaving, and
provide
I feel
that
like
if
I've got
local
my
sales
finger,
tax
my finger
rate
got
is
tipped in.
reduced
I got it.
and raised by
getting
voter
out.
approval, the
The song
local
is
use
called
tax
Little
rate shall be
Silence.
reduced. Oh, okay, in the same. Okay, yeah, fuck yeah.
We will make a
While some people
Just
might
please
be
don't
affected
use
by
it for
this on
something
an
fucked
individual
up.
level,
God, as
it's
soon as I
hard to
fill
say
that
how
yes
this is
thing
making
out,
a
I know
bigger
they're gonna use
impact.
the money for
And
something
while
fucked
everyone
up.
comes here for different reasons, there's a large portion who believe that what they're doing can heal the world. That feels like a lofty goal and one that they probably can't achieve. But if you just want to come to the woods, practice communal living for a week, take some psychedelics, and taste bread pudding at 9,000 feet, I highly recommend going to Rainbow Family
Voted.
Gathering.
Is it illegal to do that?
And Harold and I agreed in this lifetime that we would know false hierarchies on earth and in the heavens.
Because they say that people can buy your vote or whatever. Like, anyone's gonna buy my vote in city council fucking shit.
Heading on a family trip?
No.
Be right back. I'm gonna go put my votes in the mail.
Aw, use Priceline. They have package deals no one else has.
We can do it.
Go to your happy price, Priceline.
I thought it was an open and shut case, me being so smart and all-knowing. But damn, he makes some good arguments. So, the charges don't push each other through the wire? The thought around charges wouldn't let go. Until one restless night when I had too much tea and couldn't fall asleep, thinking about charges, suddenly everything clicked. Oh,
Keep it down.
Derek was right about the surface charges, but at the same time, I'm still right. Charges do push each other through the wire. I need to talk to Derek again.
Thanks for taking the call again, and thanks for the chapter of the book you sent me to. I read it last night, and for the most part, I believe it just agreed with what I thought during my restless night, which was good.
Let me explain more clearly how charges flow in the wire. Let's just use one resistive wire, initially not connected anywhere in equilibrium, as in positive and negative charges are equally distributed. Suddenly, we place a battery across the wire, which with its electric fields pushes some electrons into negative and sucks some from the positive. Just remember, electric charges are super strong and it doesn't take much to make a lot of current. So in reality, you would see close to zero charge movement. This is exaggerated so you see things better. The excess electrons repel each other in all directions, but vertically they can only go as far as the surface. Horizontally, a lot of them move forward, which again repel each other in all directions. Some more end up at the surface and the rest move forward. Similar distribution happens on the positive side too, except there the positive charges don't move, but rather electrons are sucked into the positive areas. So we end up in a charge distribution like this, on a very thin layer of conductor surface, and the rest of the wire is electrically neutral, like Derek mentioned. And charges there have a net zero force on them from the adjacent mid-wire charges. Now, let's take an electron in the middle and see the surface charge forces on it from 4 close corners.
I just put my vote on the out in the mail because I finished my voting last night. Oh, trigger warning. They have dead bodies on this. Hey hoes. You changed your avatar.
But what you're going to see starting to occur is redness is going to start to come to the surface. Now that redness is inflammation. You see, when I slapped myself, I caused these cells called mast cells to release a molecule or a compound called histamine. That histamine went to my blood vessels and caused them to dilate. And as they dilated, they cracked, and then the fluid inside the blood vessels started to escape and go into the surrounding area. That fluid is essential for white blood cells to swim in so then they can fix all the damage that I just did. But we call this redness and swelling erythema.
Oh, they didn't have any on this one.
I can't find a comment.
Oh, fuck off. Man, I never know which one to click on. Come on. Why you have a uvula?
You are looking
Let's
at a
learn
pretty
this.
amazing dissection or sagittal cut through the head. And what I want to show is this structure here, specifically the very end or tip of it, which I used to call it the
Why is there a fly down
but
here?
it's technically called the uvula. This is part of the soft palate, and what many people don't realize is that it actually is made up of some muscle. And so when you swallow, the soft palate in the uvula is actually drawn upward, like so that the food can pass downward where it's supposed to and not flip up and then go out the nasal cavity. We all know we have our moments when somebody makes us laugh and we're drinking milk and then this thing doesn't close off properly and then that milk can...
So that's why you spit milk out your
It's
nose.
a pretty amazing dissection or sagittal cut through the head. And what I want to show is this structure here.
Let's talk about shin splints. So first off, you can see we've cut a little window into the tibia here, and that allows you to see the medullary cavity, which is the hollow center of a long bone.
That's where your blood. That's where your blood is made.
Called the periosteum, and periosteum is going to reside on the outside of compact bone. But periosteum.
Because your bones aren't actually hollow. This one looks like it was hollowed out, but.
So, let's talk about shin splints.
This stuff right here, I think, your bone marrow, that's where your blood is made.
So first off, you can see we've cut a little window into the tibia here, and that allows you to see the medullary cavity, which is the hollow center of a long bone. But if we draw our attention over here, you can see this tissue called periosteum. And periosteum is going to reside on the outside of compact bone. But periosteum is going to be loaded with nerve endings, bone cells, and a whole variety of other things. But you can see that it's continuous with this tissue here called the fascia. See, as I put my probe under here, you can see that they blend with one another. In fact, they're made of the exact same type of tissue. The only reason we call them something different is because they're in different locations. That's just how anatomy works. Well, in shin splints, you can get an overworked muscle which can actually start to tug on the fascia, which can then tug on the periosteum and cause an inflammation. And since it's loaded with nerve endings, that means you're going to get quite a bit of pain.
Okay,
Let's talk about
so
shin
it
splints.
has
So first off,
really nothing to do with the shin bone. Well, I mean, that's technically the shin bone, I guess.
Some people have 6. You're looking at the back of one of the cadavers here in the lab. Now, this muscle is called the trapezius, and you can see it on both sides here. But on this left side, it's been dissected so we can reflect it back. And what that allows us to see is some of the deeper musculature, including the rhomboids. Now, they're called the rhomboids because their real name is the rhomboideus muscles. We have the rhomboideus major and then the rhomboideus minor. Now, both of them are going to attach to the medial margin of the scapula as well as the spinous processes here in the thoracic region. And so when they contract,
Man, muscles are fucking so complex and so amazing.
Midline, which we call retraction or
like,
adduction of the scapula. You're looking at the back of one of the cadavers here in the lab. Now this
I love anatomy.
This is the uterus, and it is responsible for many things. One is implantation of a fertilized egg, and this is where fetus will develop. But one of the other things is it can be a source
It's
of
so
some
small
discomfort when
without
this
one,
muscle
though.
that I'm probing contracts involuntarily throughout the menstrual cycle, really during period cramps. And what happens is if an egg or a fertilized egg doesn't implant on the inside lining here, I've got
It
the
sheds
the
its
endometrium,
skin.
it wants to slough off that endometrium. So then that smooth muscle starts to contract and slough that endometrium off and out, and can cause some uncomfortable sensations, if you will. This is the uterus, and
There are 7 tarsal bones, or bones of the foot and ankles. So if we go through them one by one, this first one we'll talk about is here called the talus.
What do you want to
This
do,
is going
Hose? I don't
connect
have
with
anything
your tibia
planned.
and your fibula to help form the ankle joint. Then right below it, there's a
You
massive
don't
bone
like
right
the
here. It's called
anatomy
the calcaneus. That's the
channel?
heel bone. On the lateral side, we now have what's called the cuboid.
Wait.
Then there are going to be 3 cuneiform bones. The first
Do you
is
have
the
2
lateral
accounts,
cuneiform,
Hose?
then the intermediate cuneiform, and the medial cuneiform. And the last bone is going to be this one called the navicular. Now, as you can see, there are a lot of joints between all of these bones.
Because there's 2 different
In fact, it's this twisting motion that occurs
pictures for your
and inversion. You see, that doesn't happen at the ankle. The ankle is just a hinge.
profile
All you can
picture.
do is go up and down like this in what we call dorsal flexion and
Ah.
plantar flexion. There are 7 tarsal bones.
Yes,
or
no,
bones
what?
of the foot and ankles. So if we go through them one by one, this first one we'll talk about is here called the talus.
Oh.
And this is going to connect with your tibia and your fibula to help form the ankle joint.
Okay, I thought that would have
Massive
changed
bone
the
right
one
here.
in the
It's called
past, but it
calcaneus.
didn't.
That's your heel bone. On the lateral side, we now have what's called the cuboid.
Did you know we have
Then
more
we're
than
going to
half
the
of our
three
bones in
cuneiform
our
bones.
hands and our
The
feet?
first is the lateral cuneiform, then the
true.
intermediate cuneiform, and the medial.
We already saw that one on Dennis's channel. I don't know what to watch or do. Why is it on a skateboard? No. Was that Eevee or was that the evolved one?
Are you driving way less than you used to? Do you have a clean driving record? Are you over 25? Do you not have a
Guys, look at this. This is anarchists at their best, by the way. I mean, straight up. Anarchists doing their thing. Anarchists at their best. There's no showers, no masters, no gods, and no cops, really.
Steve Osunsami is in Atlanta with the latest. Good morning, Steve. Good morning to you, George. This is
Well, I forgot what I asked you.
forest movement, and they have events scheduled all week. They're mostly environmentalists who've been trying to save a wooded area and have argued that the new training center would militarize police.
What?
Police in Georgia this morning said they were attacked in a violent protest at the construction site of the new Atlanta Public Safety
Wouldn't
Training
it
Center.
be like ironic if it was a training center to train them to deal with people with mental health?
And set equipment on fire.
This was a very violent attack that occurred this evening.
Guys, so violent. Yeah, meanwhile, the guys that are saying this straight up murdered one of the forest defenders like a month or so ago. So remember, the guys with all the gear and all the weapons and all the lack of accountability to get away with like doing murders, who did do a murder. Yes, R.I.P. Tortuguita. Those guys are like, oh man, they were so violent. They were so violent. If only we had a fucking cop city to train against these violent, subversive, militant Antifa.
Very violent attack. But this wasn't about a public safety training center. This was about anarchy.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, it's not. Definitely not about the training center that's, you know, that the government's spending millions of dollars on so that we can more violently apprehend motherfuckers exactly like them. Totally. Again, remember, they're the violent ones, not the thumbs. Isn't better trained?
Not the thumbs.
Okay, how many times do we have to go
It gets
through
me
this?
off guard every time he
Better
calls
training
them
for police
thumbs.
Is not necessarily better
Human
training, so they
thumbs.
are like getting trained in de-escalation tactics. Better training for police just means better murder training. It's the part where, you know, they're
Yeah, that's
that's
what I imagined it would be, but I was hoping it was de-escalation and dealing with people with mental
This was
health.
about the attempt to destabilize.
Authorities say there were more than 100 people and that this was a coordinated attack on officers and equipment.
During that attack,
Obviously.
the officers, pieces of equipment and other items that were at the location for the construction of the Public Safety Training Center were damaged.
Police are seen chasing down people in the woods using stun guns to stop the protesters. Police arrested more than 24. Atlanta's police chief says what happened was not a legitimate protest and that many of those arrested were not from Georgia.
We throw commercial grade.
I mean, to be fair, it wasn't a legitimate protest because they got violent, and that seemed to be their whole goal.
Like, you
But
used it on them. Like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh man, they're throwing rocks at us. It's really fucked up. You don't understand. These are not average sized rocks, okay? These are fairly large rocks, and you know, me and the other piggies, we fucking hate rocks. I mean, rocks are terrifying. IDF roleplay? Oh, 100%. Well,
so we're shooting them with tear gas canisters. See how they like that.
Too. Like, when you're using less lethal weapons, you're still using weapons that can kill. And you use it regularly. Yeah, they're going real aggro with it.
And if you use it regularly, it stands to reason that every once in a while they will kill. And they do.
And the charges are going to show that tonight when we make the appropriate charges.
This is the latest in a
They
series
did
of
go a little
clashes
far
with
burning
police in
shit down, but I don't blame
A
them.
demonstrator was shot to death by a police officer in one of those clashes. But I have to point out that this new...
Wait, I mean, but they're one of those clashes? That's not how that works. That's not how that works. That's not what happened. That wasn't a violent clash. That person was literally in their fucking tent when they got executed by the cops, who very likely got scared because they heard someone else misfire. Their gun discharged, okay? And they got scared and they started blasting in the direction of a tent. That was an execution. That was not a violent clash. But the media, of course, always has to, like, it wasn't even a tent, it was a hammock. That's right. Fuck. Even I'm, like, you know, doing the propaganda a little bit. That's ridiculous. How are you going to sit here and tell me that these guys need more training to what, like, be more violent? Figure out more violent ways of doing that as the media sits there and covers the story from a one-sided perspective, making it seem like there were violent clashes and the cops ended up having to
and now they're using this. They're using the retaliation for them being violent as an excuse for what they did.
In Japan, police just give you fucking...
That's why you
like
can't do that no matter what, because they will win if you ever. That's why Martin Luther King was the actual king, because he preached peaceful protesting. Because eventually, if you peacefully protest and constantly get your ass whooped by the cops for being peaceful, everybody, including the people that you once thought were your enemies, they're going to start feeling bad for you, and then they won't stand for it anymore. And then the whole society will change. That's how you get things to change. It takes a long time. Many generations might die before it happens. So I don't blame people for taking it into their own hands and getting violent, but that's
in the IDF does all the time, or killing a press person, which the IDF does all the time. It's sick. League of observers at the event were
in the long run.
It's wonderful stuff. The
peaceful
NLG Atlanta
protesting
chapter
is going to
presented
get
by
you
Observer and all these
rights for everybody that you're fighting for faster, even if it takes a long, long time.
Yeah, look at them hogs trying to run, dude. Oh yeah, we got some conscript govers here. Let's get them. It's funny looking back. I was in Boston 2014 visiting from Finland and was lost on how to get back to a location. I saw cops that gathered in the street and instinctively thought I could ask them they help, but only later realized how dumb that was. Yeah, in America, here, one aspect of like police in other countries is like you can ask them for help in certain instances. Like obviously ACAB, Universal, blah blah blah. We get it. They're still like the worst. They're still the worst people out of any like daily job, any layman. But like in America, you go up and you ask a fucking cop anything, they're gonna tell you to fuck off. Okay, they'll be like, I'm too busy. My friend living in Japan says that you can ask the Japanese cops for water. Yeah, like apparently, yeah, you can like go up and ask Japanese cops for guidance, and they will help
pick
as best as they can. This doesn't mean like Japanese cops are good. I'm not saying that, but you're always gonna fucking find like good examples or good interactions with cops. This just doesn't mean that they're like that.
This one I can pick just like by doing this.
Cops for help and they detained for 90 minutes even though I came to them for help.
There it goes. I already picked it.
My backpack was stolen in Tokyo. The cops kept insisting I lost it. Lamau. That's funny. Japan is infamous for their detention techniques. Yes, that's true as well. Anyway, this doesn't mean that like like I said, this doesn't mean like Japanese cops are good or anything. Obviously not. They can be monstrous in their own way. But it does definitely change the dynamic when the person you're interacting to is not armed to the fucking teeth and also operating under the knowledge that if they kill you, they could probably get away with it and get death duty. You know what I mean? It does. That's a huge difference. And for some reason, it's like hard to explain that to people.
Oh god, dude, it hurts. It's not funny.
Like that, but like the person you're interacting with, if they historically have been able to get away with like paid administrative leave after killing someone, and they're armed to the goddamn teeth, and they are known to immediately escalate with use of force, sometimes use of lethal force, like why the fuck wouldn't you be terrified of that interaction? When you talk to a cop in Europe and they don't have a gun, and they have like one cop killing a year, you know what I mean, max, that's a totally different conversation to have, which is what I've talked about before. This was like a
TikTok made me do it. If you use TikTok, you might have seen videos like these recently claiming that the combination of L-tyrosine and B vitamins is like a natural Adderall. If you thought about purchasing these two supplements,
nobody
try out these.
thinks that.
A moment that like a lot of boot lovers have clipped out of
Adderall is so strong because it's not natural.
Which they love talking about. They remember we were looking at, I think, France, where
it's made from ephedra, which itself is strong, but not like meth. That's what meth is made out of, is ephedra. If you didn't know.
Doesn't make you civilized. I'm like, that's not what I'm talking about.
You can get ephedra tea.
People are less fearful of having conversations.
I don't know why people didn't start doing that. Instead, they started going to Sudafed. Maybe it's because meth addicts are fucking idiots.
Murder machines in said countries. That is what I mean. That's an indication.
And they're too stupid to extract the ephedra out of the ephedra plant. Even though they're using chemistry to make meth. I never got it. Never made sense to me.
A police duking it out with you, okay? A cop duking it out with you should be held to a higher standard, like boxers are. You know what I mean?
Okay, this is too big. I can't find. I'm gonna go find my middle-sized one.
Your freedoms. They have a monopoly on violence. They have a right to kill. So they should be held to a higher standard, not a lower one, which ironically they are held to a lower standard instead of a higher one. Okay? The ability to fight cops is what Americans think the right to bear arms is all about, right? Yeah, except, the same ones who are like, I want a right to bear arms are also the same fucking assholes who love talking about how cops should be able to kill everyone except themselves, I guess. How did the police presence in Japan feel? Nothing. It's laughable. Like I said, one aspect of an incredibly safe society is the fact that there are no guns. So like even when we were deep in the cut and Connor was like, this is literally Yakuza Alley, okay? Like everyone around you, and I saw the fucking neck tattoos and shit too. Like every person that was like farming people to go into their host clubs were Yakuza. And it literally felt probably 100 times safer than just walking into a fucking 7-Eleven in America. Like it's so funny. It's so funny to think like the most dangerous area full of like gang activity is still infinitely more safe. You know why? Because they don't have fucking guns. Not everybody has literal actual guns on them at all times. Like when no one is strapped, when ostensibly no one is strapped, okay? Not saying that the officers don't have guns, of course they do, but like they're not open carrying in the same way that
I'll
you
have to
see
use it on the bottom
so
of the
most
keyway.
people, the average person, including cops, don't have guns on them. They have batons, they might have a taser, they might have knives, but they don't have fucking guns. So it just, there's an element of safeness that immediately you feel, that I especially felt being like a bigger dude too, ultimately. I'm not talking about cops carrying knives, I'm talking about cops carrying batons and tasers, and then people that want to do like fucked up shit would have knives at the most. Safety, question mark, more guns equals safety, man. Yeah, that's why America is famously the most safe country on the planet. For the record, like, that is a main component of this. The other component is that there's, guns everywhere, that's dangerous. But then there's also a lot of poverty. And socioeconomic conditions, your material conditions, create an environment where violence and violent crimes are infinitely more likely to occur. And in a country where there is massive income inequality, in a country where there's massive income inequality like the United States of America, there's going to be a lot of violent crime.
No meth chat.
That's how this works. So clearly, that's why people feel unsafe all the time in big cities or like walking around at night.
Sir, do you have a phone?
Yeah? What about it?
Get this man 77 girls.
What?
Is that not enough? Some legendary heroes as well.
Good day, it's March 6th here at the H3 Podcast. Welcome, everybody. I know you missed us. We missed you too.
He knows a lot about the science stuff, Professor Dave explains.
In the previous tutorial, we learned about how rocks...
Okay, now this one is like more akin to one that you'd have on your deadbolt.
Say you are given an igneous rock and asked what it is. Where
Could be in a nice handle though, but it's only got 5. It can have 7, but I've got it keyed up. I've got the keys fitting a certain key, or the key pins fitting a certain key, so I can use the key to turn it.
Intrusive rocks are also called plutonic, and extrusive
But I could put extra key pins and other pins in it. And I've got security pins too, but I'm not never
analyzing the size of the mineral grains. Plutonic rocks, which cool slowly, have ample time to grow large crystals, while volcanic rocks, which crystallize rapidly, are composed of tiny grains.
Never tried it.
that can't be seen by the naked
I have picked a lock with security pins before. My dad has a really nice American lock that he leaves outside on the shed, so it gets fucking ruined. But it's his lock.
With rhyolite, silica content is greater than 69%.
But I've only picked it once.
Dacite, 62 to 69%. Andesite, 52 to 62%. Basalt, 45 to 52%. And pickrite, which contains less than 45% silica. The term ultramafic.
Okay, I'm just gonna use my wave rake to open this.
Mafic for basaltic rocks.
There we go.
Intermediate for andesitic rocks. And felsic for dacitic and rhyolitic rocks. Rhyolite and basalt are very different rocks, and it is typical for them not to have any common minerals. For example, rhyolite is rich in alkali feldspar, quartz, and sodium-rich plagioclase, with minor amounts of amphibole, while basalt is mainly composed of pyroxene, olivine, and calcium-rich plagioclase, with minor amounts of iron and titanium oxides. Andesites and dacites can have both felsic and mafic minerals, but are typically mostly plagioclase, with lesser amounts of pyroxene, amphibole.
I imagine this isn't gonna be stirring chat. I don't remember this. I guess we can watch this. I really don't know what to do this morning.
Good luck. Theaters Thursday. PG-13.
Freddy's new birthday cake shake is here. Get the new birthday cake shake online or on the
I was thinking about Friday doing like an AMA or a story time
Ethan, quick question. Have you seen Eddie Burback's video on ghost restaurants?
type chat.
No, I don't think so.
It's 30
Let's watch
minutes.
that. Oh, Eddie's video's new. #2 on trending. Okay, so let's watch that. That sounds great.
Oh, I missed this yesterday. If this is yesterday's live, we could watch yesterday's live. I didn't watch it. Let's do that. Because they said we can put members content out. Oh yeah.
Guys, I believe we are live. I popped out the chat. Let's go.
Here we go.
It's Tuesday, baby. Let's fucking go. Angela, that's the time. Let's
Angela,
go.
it's
It's Tuesday. See, I said I'll see you next Tuesday. Let's fucking go. Members rise up. That's right. Rise the fuck up, members. Angela Bassett at the time. Rise up. Rise up. Let's go. Let's go. Hold on, sorry. I'm trying to stall for. I'm just checking something real fast. Let's go, people. All right. Welcome, everybody. Thanks, everyone, for being here. It's a treat, a pleasure, a treasure. Oh, someone asked what class did I play in EverQuest. So my main in EverQuest was a ogre warrior named Damnations Bam Bam. Yep, that was me. That defined my whole adolescence. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. So I had something fun I wanted to do today. Check out musician Ashniko. Her work is wild. You could make a great interview. Always see a cloud. Okay, that's a good suggestion because happy 25th birthday to Stravia Reddy. Thank you so much for being here. I have no idea how much money that is, but thank you so much. I didn't know what currency.
Oh, okay. Bye. Bye, Shiva.
Something. I'm thinking because this is.
She came downstairs. I gave her a treat, and she went back upstairs with it.
Is that I don't really care if it gets copyright claimed. So I was thinking we could listen to some music.
She's got 2 spots in the house that she likes to eat her treats. One's in her chair upstairs, and the other one's is a blanket behind my bed.
The VODs would have ads on it, right? They'll put ads on it because they'd claim it. But just know, I did not put ads on this thing. Beige?
Weed chat.
Okay, people like that idea. Nice. Fun. No, I don't.
Get rid of that meth chat. Put a weed chat in
You don't want
there.
to listen to music, or you don't like music as a person? I don't like music.
I'm in recovery. You guys are offending me by putting meth chat in the chat all the time.
Hey, so I want to tell you, confess something to you guys.
Sorry, that's not true. I don't give a shit.
Have you seen Eddie Burback's
I shouldn't use it like that. That's kind of fucked up.
No, I don't think so. Lauren R.
All right, love you.
Let's watch that. Hey, family. Oh, it's Chrissy Sherlock. What's up? Shout out to the family. Baby. Can you pronounce my name? It's Itzel. Itzel, right? Are you Israeli? Sounds like an Israeli name. Itzel. I just want to say thank you for inspiring me. Oh.
Wait.
That's what I'm here to do, Maria.
What happened to it? Did you delete meth? Did you delete your meth jack comment?
You guys since Australia's and I've even got gold mine favorite on Spotify. I literally just figured out it's you. What's wrong with me? I don't know, but I'm glad you like the song. That's cool.
Is that what it looks like when you delete a comment?
I don't watch Vanderpump.
When you're not a mod, you can't tell?
I am curious, what's the drama? Is it like newsworthy? Like what level of drama are we talking about?
Because I'm not signed in right now, so...
Vanderpump Rules season drama. Oh, that doesn't... I don't care about these people. I don't care about the secondary characters in Vanderpump Rules. I don't watch it. Who the fuck are these people? You know what I mean? I can't do it.
I know, I was just joking though. I wasn't like... I was just kidding. I wasn't serious.
You check the accuracy of H3 Iceberg on Reddit? That sounds fun. Actually, that's probably a good idea for this.
It doesn't trigger me at all. I was just joking.
Let me send that idea to the guys. Because that's actually just great. Hold on one sec. Yeah, thank you for that. Oh, Eddie's video's new. Number 2 on trending. Okay, so let's watch that. That sounds great. I'm just catching up with chat and everything now. Notifications off, by the way. Let me just make sure. Mute notifications. Always.
It's okay. I'm actually really hard to offend.
Super mega, super awesome. She's got a job in New York, so she can drop out scared.
People have to do evil shit to like offend me, like politicians. That's why I'm always offended at politicians. Because they're almost all evil. I hope Bernie Sanders runs. I hope the Democrats run Bernie Sanders instead of Joe Biden.
Do whatever your boss tells you as best as you can. Don't talk back.
I don't think Trump will ever get to be president again because I don't think that even if he wins the popular vote that the Electoral College will let him in again because of all of his bullshit that he's caused, so I don't think there's a chance for him. But I also don't know what would happen if they pit Joe Biden up against Trump again. Joe Biden's like senile. I'd still vote for Biden. Only because it's the only choice. But I also don't think the Republicans will let Trump run on their ticket.
Like the reggae one? Oh, probably not. That one was really just a total kind of fluke where Mark asked me if they could use our studio.
I think he'll have to run on the independent ticket, which would be great because it would split up the Republican vote. Finally, like the independents split up the Democrats' vote.
Andrew says, Ethan, I'm 1 week sober. Just want to know, you and the crew are such inspiration.
Oh, it was yesterday, but congratulations on 1 week, guy.
1 week? That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
You know? That's it. Just keep it going.
Staying sober in the beginning is the hardest. Once you get a few years in, it gets a little bit easier.
I created
quite a lot actually.
Don't miss out if they can't ditch the daily pod. Episode 1 covering Fridays After Dark is on a playlist on YouTube. Henry's channel. Oh, an H3 kind of after show.
Like by now, I don't even want to think about drinking or doing drugs or anything. I mean, I smoke, but.
Did I? I got no problem with the C word, but I had a rude awakening one time when they're like, oh yeah, your whole 4-hour episode's demonetized. Thank you, Leslie. I miss the old Ethan, straight from Israel, Ethan. Love having Eddie on. Been a great dynamic. I hope you and the fam had a great weekend so far. Peace and love. Thank you, Architect. Love you, buddy. Hey, what do you guys think about when I mentioned that Eddie would be... I was considering a permanent co-host position for Eddie. There was a lot of, let's say... There was a lot of people that thought that wouldn't be a good idea. But I do think people are warming up to Eddie.
I think Eddie Monday would be cool, like if they called in to him on Mondays.
And I'm curious what you guys
like they do on Gabe with Fridays.
Actually, let's do a poll. Let's see if the people's opinion have changed. Has Eddie
I voted, you
permanent
missed it. I
co-host
voted
on
live
Monday? And again,
yesterday.
he's just there to support me. It's not like he's going to be monologuing, right? He's our...
There wasn't
he's
much
our
to look
boy.
up,
He's
though.
there for moral support. And again, I haven't decided.
Actually, I think
This
I
is
got
something
distracted and ended up
thinking
voting
about. It'd
later.
be kind of a nice little cap to make Monday feel a little different. So I just want to feel you guys out. I haven't decided. Eddie.
And I voted, I finished it this morning, but the only question left this morning was...
Yes or no? See what the people think.
Thing about raising taxes, and that's a no-brainer for me. Always raise taxes. Always.
It's just Monday.
Unless they tell you what it's
Okay,
for,
so
and it's
people are
for
warming up.
something fucking bullshit, like buying the police more guns or something like that.
It's just a normal show, you know. He's just there to high-five me.
But this one was for a county
He's just
thing.
there to high-five me. You guys get it? Okay. I do think people are warming up. Because last time seemed to be unanimous agreement that it wasn't a good idea. But now 60% say yes. Okay. You know? I'm kind of interested in the dynamic we have going with Shirtless Eddie. Dude, and he is so good, man. Him in Walmart was, that was one of my favorite things we've done in a while. And I love that juxtaposition of talking to Jeff casually on the airplane, and then Eddie, Shirtless Eddie, just cruising around Walmart shirtless.
My beard is getting long.
That was just a special thing. Thank you, Mikasu, for the, Ed McMahon. I don't know who that is, but I feel that. I know what you're trying to say. I think everyone would be okay with every other week, Samantha says. A compromise, perhaps. Okay, this is good, though.
Once
This
a
is
month,
interesting.
maybe?
I like the intel is important, so thank you guys. I'm going to end the poll then.
I mean, he's an icon. He's been in Eric,
okay, so
or
here's what I
he's been in Eric Andre's show and Tim and Eric's show.
We're going to watch Eddie's new vid. And then who was that? Eddie's doing good, huh? He's had a lot of hits lately. I'm happy for him. Eddie's a good guy. The Zoe experience. With Peace and Love, is Eddie aware of what he may be getting himself into? He seems like a sweet man, and I worry about him catching some strays. I mean,
Check this
he's
out.
already putting himself out there in a pretty serious way, wouldn't you say? The man is like, his content.
I'm so fucking
is
psyched
very
about this.
vulnerable, let's say. So, I don't think he. Yeah, I get your point. I don't know, but he wants to be on the internet. So, I'll put him on the internet. You know. He was like so
These just
excited
came
to hit
out.
100,000. He's all about it. So I don't know. I see your point though. I
Look
do
at
see your
this.
point.
This
Some
is
people
gonna be.
go
I'm gonna
to,
get one.
To on the internet, like
Tears of the Kingdom Switch OLED bundle.
a little bit of a
I'm
whiplash.
super fucking gonna get that motherfucker.
KP said I take Lexapro too.
Can't wait till Tears of the Kingdom comes out on May 12th, right after my birthday, so I don't have birthday money to get it.
Good luck with your Lexapro journey. It'll be great for you, I'm sure of it.
I'm saving up my money as well right now. You can't find a Tears of the Kingdom box set. Everybody that has one pre-ordered is selling their ticket for like double what it's worth.
Sold 2 East bars like that exceeded my expectations. That was really something. Oh, let me co-sign that we're live. Hold on, let me just go to Instagram. Oh, that's sick. You guys see this? Let me show you how cool it is.
I think I want to play a game.
Okay, I'm just gonna restore this. Just hang with me one second. I'll keep you some piece of note. This is a serious message. This is a serious message for everybody watching this video right now.
What?
Peace and love. Peace and love. I want to tell you, please, after the 20th of October, no more fan mail to any address. They didn't post to Instagram. Let's start with that. And let me check here. No more fan mail. Thank you, thank you. No objects to be signed. Nothing. Warning you with peace
because
too much to do.
To set up dual streaming on OBS, or no, sorry, I don't have I'm not using OBS. I'm using Streamlabs, and you have to pay to do it.
Hang with me, guys.
Well, you don't have to pay. I could choose one or the other.
I'm trying to get social here.
But I just started on YouTube.
Oh, that's a reposted it.
I mean, I'm not like really trying to like make money for it or anything. I'm just kind of doing it because I'm bored and I'm trying to do new things.
This is good content. Everybody's having so much fun right now. This is good content. Everybody's having so much fun right now.
Puppy dog, you're the rascal girl. Yes, you are.
This is good content. This is a good content.
She's such a good girl. I love my pup.
Fun right now.
But she,
fun, good times right now. Okay.
She's a little clingy, aren't you, girl?
Hila made a skate deck, dude.
She made, really?
And it came out so good.
She has separation anxiety. She can't be away from me for...
I don't know how many of y'all skate. But I wish I did skate. Skateboarding is so cool. But I want to tell you that the podcast feels like it's in a renaissance period.
Yeah, that's true.
Old vibes and current vibes. Thank you, Pastel. I really appreciate you saying that.
That is true.
We've been working hard for a long time, and I do feel that way as well. That I'm happy with the quality of content we're putting out, and I feel like the team is really coming into their
Maybe I should
all the people
do learn OBS and stream on both.
So definitely a team effort.
And also, on Twitch, it doesn't take you down every fucking 10 minutes because you might be viewing copyrighted content.
That's fire, right? That's so sick. And I think we'll keep making one, too. We'll keep making them. We were curious how it was going to go because we've never done a skate deck, and we don't know how many in our audience are, like, skaters. But there seems to be some excitement about it. I want to watch the new CoffeeZilla video too.
I didn't know there was a new CoffeeZilla video.
What size is the deck? I got no idea. that means.
Yeah, but like I said, if I
Isn't it
did
just like
Streamlabs,
standard?
I'd have to choose.
All the same?
And I don't want to
It's standard
choose. I want to do YouTube, but YouTube just kind of
It's not like a
fucking
longboard or a
sucks for
surfboard,
starting out streaming, to tell you the truth.
All right, let's watch something. What do you think? Oh yeah,
Jesus,
Bert
stop.
is actually. Someone said, "Is Bert coming on back on the podcast?" That is something that may potentially be happening soon.
Does it?
Oh yeah, CoffeeZilla was on Joe Rogan. I think that's awesome. I mean, listen, Coffee does great content, and I think it's fantastic that he's got reached to a broader audience, and it's good. I think it's great. It's good for him. It's good for everybody.
I can't wait to
This is
vote
crazy,
for
but
psilocybin
so
being
bad.
legalized in my state.
That's so cool.
I can't wait.
Too many exclamations might send the wrong message. So he got it. So we got a new CoffeeZilla video. Dude, he is popping. It's crazy. Ty Lopez bankruptcy. Love that. That's awesome. Your mom's house is the reason I became a fan of H3. Wow, that's great. All right, so let's go ahead, guys. Ethan, I feel like you and Super Mega or TMG would pop off. With you and Hila or Hassan, it feels right. What, as like a guest? Or as like a super group? I use my free message to say this again for because please have Impractical Jokers, or if just jokes needed. I think we reach out to them before. I didn't realize those guys are like such big celebrities. Can't wait to make my boyfriend watch H3 Lore series. Yeah, baby. Thank you, Sarah. I can't wait too. I'm super excited for the lore series. It'll be so much fun. I don't know if Ludwig's gonna come on or if I'm an enemy in that household. Alright. So first we're watching Eddie's. Eddie's. Let's check it out. Love me some Eddie Burback. The Deceptive World of Ghost Kitchens. Oh no, and he did. Wait, it's 40 minutes? You guys really want to watch a 40-minute video right now? He really put Beast out there, huh?
The whole live is 2 hours.
As the 2020,
Like, are you guys serious? You guys want to watch a 40-minute video right now? I'll have you know that.
Maybe if I had watched it and I could go to the key parts, it'd be easier for me to watch. I don't want to watch this whole video. I'm gonna play One Piece. That green screen competition they did was really fucking awesome. There's some really good, there are some masterpieces in there. I wonder if we're gonna meet the other Frankie in here. start more trouble. This playthrough is as much trouble as I can start.
行くぞ。
よし。お、うまそうな匂いがすんな。
鳩のやつはどこだ？教えてくれ。誰がばあさんじゃ。ばあさんじゃった。あたしゃ忙しいんだ。そこをなんとか。なんと言われても今は無理だよ。ほんとあの二人はどこでサボってるんかね。ちょっとあんたたちやめときな。忙しい時は何を言っても聞きゃしないよ。ねえ発売。誰が発売じゃ。わちじゃった。ああ、今は忙しすぎるんじゃ。私おばあさんに聞きたいことがあるんだけど相手にしてもらえないのよ。どうしたらいい？そうは言われてもどうにもできないよ。せめてユカとニーナが来るまで待ちな。誰なの？そのユカとニーナって。ああ、この食堂の看板娘だよ。あの子たちが来ればハツさんも少しは手が空くだろうさ。それにしても遅いね。もうとっくに来てもいい時間なんだけどね。何かあったのかね。
そうか、そいつは心配だな。どこかでレディーが困ってるならエスコートするのがこのプリンスの務め。任せろ。二人は俺が連れてくる。
おい待て。どこに行く気だグルマイプリンス。闇雲に探しても迷うだけだ。
てめえにだけは言われたくねえな、クソ剣士。
おっと、あんたたちいい加減にしなさい。はあ、面倒だけどさっさと片付けるのが良さそうね。
おや、あんたたちが探してきてくれるのかい。見かけによらずいい子たちだね。助かるよ。妹のユカはメガネでショートヘア。人の少ない資材置き場あたりにいることが多いね。姉のニーナは赤髪のくせっ気。船が好きだから製造中の船でも見てると思うよ。ほらほら、これ以上忙しくなる前によろしく頼んだよ。
この場所は何？
nice. I need an powdered wheat.
意外な場所にあったわね。
行くぞ。
よし。
行くぞ。
よし。
What powder do we need to cook? And I gotta wait till Sanji can do it. I get all of Usopp's frag cubes when he's not in the party. Why that? It must mean I get Usopp back at some point.
Yes. Yes.
It said I can find her where she can see the or the shipyard. That's like over here.
行くぞ。
よし。
I'm looking for 2 girls, and I can't find them fucking anywhere. Pretty sure I've searched everywhere, and I can't find them. There they are. Not going anywhere. Where was the other one? Forgot where they said the other one would be. So I think they said on the tallest place you can be. So where are the ships? The end of that is where the other one was. Oh, there she is. Rice chopper my grandma's. Would you get me some granola bars? It's right there. Oh, thank you. Are these mine? No. Well, I mean, yeah, you gave them to me. These ones with hole? No. No, the black ones have the hole in them. I've barely worn those. I've only worn them a few times. like those aren't open for him yet. Alright guys, I'm gonna go make some cereal. I'll be right back. Can't wait for these fights. There we go. Trying to move straight.
そういや、ナミさん、市長邸はどこにあるんだ？
どこって市長邸なら一眼ドックの奥に。あれ？そう言われてみると、さっき中を見て回ったけど、どこにもなかったわよね。
きっとこの世界の市長邸は別の場所にあるんだ。外に出て聞き込みをする必要がありそうね。
適当に歩いてりゃ見つかるんじゃねえか。
あんたね。はあ、なんとなく誰のせいで場所が変わったのか分かったような気がするわ。
とにかくおっさんの家を探せばいいんだろ。
そうね。探すしかないわね。
よし、行くぞお前ら。
Alright, let's go, guys.
More 行っちゃうの？船が完成するところ見たかったの。
Alright guys, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get a bowl of cereal. I'll bring chat with me in case you want to chat. Alright, I'm back. Oh, I left my phone up there. My bad. Hold on. I ate all the cheese for the sandwiches too. Alright, be safe. Love you. I forgot where I was supposed to go. Okay, so got it.
イスバーグはどんな人なの？
ガレーラカンパニーの社長でありながらウォーターセブンの市長もやってる人よ。
この綺麗で大きな町。すごい人ってのは分かったわ。
があるじゃねえか。行くぞ。
よし。
所が一つはあるのね。
いいもんがあるじゃねえか。いいもんがあるじゃねえか。おい、あいつはまさか。
うわ、こいつ青生地じゃねえか。
あらら、ここに現れた。ロングリングロングランドで会えると思ってたんだがね、予想は外れちまったみてえだな。こりゃいい女になったな、ニコロビ。ちょっと待ちなさい、カッカしなさんな。俺がここに来たのはニコ・ロビンと麦わらのルフィ、お前を一目見るためだ。やっぱりお前ら今死んどっか。
何？
ロビンちゃん。
大変だ、すぐに解凍しないと。
成り行きってやつか。お前たちの冒険はここまでだ。
ルフィ、戦うぞ。
That's this guy's devil fruit power.
お前たちを軽視しているが、これだけクセ者が顔を揃えてくると後々面倒になるだろう。これまでにお前たちがやってきた諸行の数々、その成長の速度、長く無法者を相手にしてきたが、そして政府に及ぼす危険度が最も高いのはニコ・ロビンだ。もう
ふざけんな。ロビンは絶対に渡さねえ。
じゃあ俺を止めてみな。まあ無理だと思うがな。
ギアセカンド、ゴムゴムのジェットバズーカ。
ここは任せてもらおうか。
一刀流、いよい、シッソンソン。
ってなんかいねえぞ。
I think it's the one that I upgraded.
待ってろ。アームポイント国定ロゼ
あんたらも運が悪いね。
オン。俺が
ここは任せてもらおうか。
きっちり型をつけるとするか。一刀流、いよい、シッソンソン。
あららら。
俺だって強くなったんだ。こんなやつに負けねえぞ。これで元気になるぞ。ありがとう、チョッパー。おう。
今行く。おりゃ。おっとっと。
ナイスタイムカプセル。
めちゃめちゃ効いたぞ。
おいお前、殺しちまうぞ。
アイスブロック。パルチザン。
死にがいがありそうだ。
誰か早く止血を。
おっとっと。
サビー。
ここは任してもらおうか。アイスブロック。パルチザン。
Oh shit.
誰か早く止血を。これうまいぞ。
ここは任してもらおうか。
ぶっ飛ばしてやる。ギアセカンド。ゴムゴムのジェットバズーカ。
あらら、やるね。俺の能力をよく知ってるじゃない。
もう覚えた。こっちは何度も食らってんだ。
初対面の相手に何言ってんの。それとも夢の中なんかで先に会っちゃってたわけ。
みんなロビンとナミを連れて行け。早く。こいつあの時より強え。分かった。
ナミさんとロビンちゃんを避難させたらすぐに戻る。
おう。
逃がさねえよ。
待て。俺の仲間には手を出すな。この勝負俺とお前でケリをつけよう。
構わねえが面倒なんで殺していくぞ。やれやれ、しんどいな。ここまで手こずるとは思わなかったぜ、麦わらのルフィ。一騎打ちを受けちまったからにはこの勝負俺の勝ちでそれまで。そういうことか。これ以上他の奴らに手を出せば野暮は俺だわな。なあ船長。
脈拍は正常だな。とりあえずロビンは大丈夫だ。
ロビンちゃん、よかった。ナミさんも無事だ。
でもロビンの体は冷え切ってる。早くメリーに戻って温めないと。
よし、そっちは頼むぞ、チョッパー。俺たちはルフィを助けに戻る。
分かった。こっちは任せてくれ。
こだ。芯が完全に凍っちまってる。まずいな。早く溶かさねえと。急いでメリー号に運ぶぞ。急げ。ショッパーたちと合流だ。分かってる。確か水で溶かして、それからお湯だ。メリー号に戻れば湯も水もあるな。みんなもロビンちゃんを連れてメリー号に戻ってるはずだ。
Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. I think I might take a nap before H3 comes on.
いいかクソ剣士。メリーんとこ行くにはまずヤガラブルに乗って。うっせえ、分かってる。このまま通り沿いに進めばいいんだろ。違う。はね、正解だ。ああ、急ぐぞ。
Oh no, is that, yeah, that's one of the signs, shit. It's just a little bit further down. There it is. I appreciate you guys for coming by. I might stream later on tonight. That way there's more people that'll drop in. We'll see how it goes. But I appreciate you guys coming.